What's going on, guys? Jamie here, back again with another video, and the first thing I'd like to do is say thank you. Thank you for the initial feedback that I had for the last video. People seem to really enjoy it, which was really good, something a bit different. So I know now that in future I can do episodes like that, a bit sort of different, and people will still enjoy those. Today's episode sees us go back to normality. We have a game today against QPR. If you didn't see the last episode, go back and watch that, but if you fancy just sticking around in this video, I'll just recap what we went over. It was a transfer heavy episode, just showing all the business in and out in January. Not too much went out, but a few came in. So as you can see there, a few players came in. We brought in Jamie Patterson from Bristol City as a backup right midfielder to Matt Ritchie. The other notable in was Andre Schembri from Vista. Apart from that, they're mainly all just youngsters. As you can see, we brought a few in, 4 from Crewe, 1 from Chesterfield, 1 from Luton. All fairly average, but the one player that does stick out is this guy, Josh Lundstrom. 3.5-star potential ability, does have the potential to be a quality midfielder. Central midfielder, so he can do all sorts. I mean, I might train him up to, depending on when he pushes through, what sort of midfielders we have at the club during the time. We might push him on to be something I haven't quite decided yet, but if we have a look at his report, a Vanarama national player now, could improve a lot. He has the potential to be a quality player, so maybe this season a bit too soon for him, but next season maybe look to get him involved, or we'll just try and load him out and get in some first team action. There were no notable outs in the January window, just a couple of loans. We did see in the last episode that the whole Mbemba saga, not getting his work permit for his move to Liverpool. On deadline day, we did get a couple of offers in for players. Burnley came in for Lazar. They only offered about 5 million, but I wasn't interested in their selling on deadline day. And also, a tasty bid came in from Liverpool for Matt Ritchie. They initially offered me 19 million. And I thought, nah, no way. I'm not selling Ritchie. He's one of my main men. And again, it's too late on deadline day. I'm not selling. And then they negotiated to 22.5 million. And I did contemplate it, but again, I stood firm. I didn't sell. So he is still with us. If we just recap the games as well that we played. I didn't play any of these online. I played these all between the video stuff, so I did recap them briefly, but we can just go over them quickly again. A good turn of form since December. We struggled really with 4 goalless draws in 6 games in December's, but we seemed to turn a corner. We started with a 2-0 victory away at Blackburn. The strikers coming back in form, Mitrovic and Murphy grabbing a goal apiece. The third round against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, I did play a slightly rotated team. Bournemouth played a full-strength team. I wasn't too fussed about this game. I probably should have taken it a bit more seriously, but we were dealt a tough hand, and I wanted to concentrate on getting our place back in the league. So we did play a fairly strong side, but Bournemouth were better than us on the day in a resounding 3-0 win. We then followed that up with an absolutely fantastic away win at Brentford 5-1. We dominated this game from start to finish. The opening 25 minutes could have been 4 or 5. As you can see there, Mbemba and Murphy grabbing a couple of early goals. We hit the bar and hit the post as well. Mitrovic grabbed a couple. Nice to see Rolando Aarons getting himself on the score sheet as well. Shame we couldn't keep a clean sheet, but Yota's goal was phenomenal. Probably the best goal in the entire game. We then followed that up with a 3-0 home win against Rotherham. Shelvey scoring just over 30 seconds. Absolute bullet, typical John Joe Shelvey. Colback grabbed himself a goal as well, and Mitrovic grabbing another. And lastly, the game that I played after, I think it was after, I'm not quite sure, after the video finished, a 2-1 win against Brighton. Brighton went 1-0 up in this game. We then grabbed a goal shortly after half-time with Matt Ritchie, and that man, Andre Schembri, I told you he could do it. I told you I knew what he could do. Some people didn't believe me, but he came off the bench, and in the 91st minute he grabbed a winner. Brighton doing quite well. I think they were about 5th in the league at the time. But today we play QPR, who are, I believe, mid-table. Yeah, they are 10th in the Championship. Holloway still at the helm. If we just have a look at their recent run of form, they're in the 4th round, albeit they did draw 0-0 at home to Cheltenham. They lost away to Reading. But yeah, their run of form recently fairly patchy. Only a couple of wins in a long stretch of games. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. If we any notable transfers, they haven't brought anyone in this season. Interesting. Holloway obviously feeling that his squad is capable, even though they are 10th. And if I just show you the league table as well, that really good run of form has seen us return to the top of the table. We have got a game in hand on Reading. We are 3 points clear. The Reading have actually fallen apart recently, it would seem. Yeah, a couple of, so what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 defeats in their last 6 championship games. I've seen us reclaim top spot. Of course, we wouldn't be there if we hadn't been playing so well. So no small feat, that is for sure. Anyway, if we move into today's game, you know the tactic. Slightly changed lineup. I felt like giving a couple of players a game as we haven't seen them play for a while. Also note, Grant Henley is out injured again. Lazar and Atsu are at the African Cup of Nations. Most of our players have returned now, but we were without 4 or 5 fairly key players, so it's good to see the majority of them coming back into the lineup. Anyway, if we have a look at today's team, Carl Darlow starts in goal. A back 4 of Jesus Gamez, Jamal Lascelles, Chancellor Mbemba and Paul Dummett. Across the midfield we have Matt Ritchie, Jonjo Shelvey, Jack Colback and Rolando Aarons on the left hand side. And up front, Mitrovic and Murphy, they've both been in good form, as you can see from the last 5 games, 7.42 and a 7.62. You know, I don't think Murphy's actually scored that many goals in his recent run of form. He's just been putting in good performances. If we have a look, yeah, so last game out against Brighton he wasn't great. Before that, a goal against Rotherham, a goal and assist against Brentford, and then a goal as well in the game against Blackburn. So he hasn't necessarily been bagging loads of goals, but he's been playing well, and that's contributing to our good performances. So then, enough talking. I've already chatted for long enough. Let's get into today's game. Right then, as today's game kicks off, let's just turn goal replays on. We are again at St James's Park. Most of our live comms seems to be home games. I don't purposely pick home games. I just try and spread them out as much as possible. But I don't think there'll be too many more episodes before the end of the season. We are closing in on the end of the season now. We have entered February. I think maybe something like 4 more videos, including this one. This will take us to round about to a nice 10. So a nice round figure to end the season. Unless, of course, something happens. I might bring you some games beforehand as Loire hits the bar from distance. But yeah, I might bring you, depending, you know, if we go on a really good run and, you know, we can win the league early, I might bring you an earlier sort of game, but I'll try and spread them out as much as possible. I think with this season, the goal was always to get back as quickly as possible. So, you know, if we do that and it does become sort of routine, then probably the less sort of episodes, the better, really. We can focus on getting back into the big time. This game's been fairly scrappy so far, as Mbemba picks up just inside the QPR half. Nice football, Mitrovic to Murphy. Colback, can he find a pass? He's slotted through Murphy. He's put it over the bar. Our first real opportunity in this game goes begging. It's a fairly even start as Shelvey picks the ball up, plays it to Colback. Shelvey, he's been forced back. There's good pressure from QPR. They seem to be pushing a lot of men forward, going for the gegenpress. A lot of teams seem to be adopting this. Murphy's in, and he makes it 1-0. A nice, cool, calm, collected finish from Murphy. We said he's been putting in good performances, and it looks like he's going to put in another one today. So if we have a look there, Mitrovic goes by his man. Murphy makes a good run, gets away from his defender. He's one-on-one, and coolly slots it past the keeper. So if results stay the same, then we will extend our gap to Reading to 6 points and 10 points to Norwich. As we come to half time, then not much else has happened in the half, and we do come up with a 1-0 lead. We are playing well. I'm happy with the performance. I'm going to say that to the guys with a calm approach. Some of them look extremely delighted, which is always good as we kick off the second half. As the first highlight of the second half, then, Ravel Morrison picks the ball up. He plays in Jamie Mackey. He's through on goal and saves straight at Carl Darlow. A scare there, but nonetheless, he couldn't make it pay. Ravel with the corner, he whips it in. That's a good header away from Mitrovic. If we have a look at the stats, QPR dominating this game in terms of shots. one clear-cut chance each. They've hit the woodwork twice, although we haven't seen it. I don't really want to change anything. I'm fairly comfortable. There's not much happened other than that chance. But look at that. 6 shots we've had all game, and they've had 18. As the clock winds down, then maybe one more highlight. Dumb it. Inside to Colback. What can he do with it? Out to Aaron's. Plays the dumb it. If he gives it back, Aaron's just got space to get the ball in. Aaron's Colback. 2-0. 4 minutes left on the clock. We make it 2-0. A less than convincing performance, to say the least. But I suppose that's what champions elect do, don't they? They don't play very well, but they still get results. Colback with a lovely finish in the near post. Smithies didn't look like he had a chance. And hopefully that is going to wrap up today's game. Another victory to add to the list as they one last chance. Maybe Luongo with a... they have grabbed a goal. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied then as they were coming forward. The ball initially fell to Luongo outside the area. As we have a look, he hits a shot, and it's a great save from Darlow. Freeman's the first to react, gets the ball back in, and Dummett lets his man escape, and he slots it in. And I think for the final few... Oh, there's a highlight after the goal. I'm going to drop to counter. If we take off some of the instructions as well, we won't play out of the defence. And we'll ease up on the closing down. But hopefully we can just see out this game as QPR look to come forward. Lascelles cleans up. And hopefully we can just keep the ball, and that will be that. As Mitrovic grabs the ball. We just need to keep the ball, boys. Come on. I'm not looking for another goal. Just see out the victory. Although if we can grab another one, I won't complain. Aaron's to Colback. Come on, ref. Blow the whistle. Do us a favour. Corker, and that's it. It is an unconvincing victory, to say the least. QPR definitely have played their part in this game, but it was a 2-1 victory for the Magpies. I'm going to say it was a good win. You know, I'm not going to get them. Confidence is high. I don't want to say anything too damaging and get their morale down. But yeah, slightly edged the possession, but only 2 shots on target. Ended up being the 2 goals that we got. So if you have a look at the table then, still only 2 defeats this season out of 29. That's very impressive. A massive 10 draws though. But we do sit 6 points clear of Reading. It's good to increase that gap. Daryl Murphy getting the man of the match. And then I think that's going to end today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, please pop a like on there for me. If you are new, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in a bit.